Don't mind if you hear my cat in the background. All right, so we are officially recording, and let me know if you can see my screen. All good? Perfect. All right. So motivating event attendance. Like I said, this is going to kind of start off with things to kind of help within meetings, and then also getting into a lot of these things that you do within meetings or basically encouraging will relate back to making it a fun environment that your members want to come out to these events. So starting off with exact. So part one will be encouragement, part two will be a little bit into meetings, and then part three is theme meetings. It all begins with exact. Honestly, I feel like enthusiasm, being enthusiastic is like the biggest part of it. If you're not excited or your exec is not excited about putting on events and going to meetings and things like that, that's going to relate back to your members because it's contagious, just like COVID. Enthusiasm is contagious. So if they feel happy, if they can see that you're excited, then they're going to be excited about it. The exec sets the tone through their voice as well as their actions and their energies. Same thing relating back to it. If you can tell kind of by like their attitude towards it, like, oh, like I'm putting on this event, like you should come out. That sounds a little bit like sad, but I'm like, hey, I'm putting on this event. You guys should come out. It's really fun. I think you guys would really enjoy it. We're doing this, this, and this. That sounds a little bit different. It's just like the enthusiasm within your voice and how you present it to them. Keep a positive attitudes. Never kind of seem down on an event as well. So make sure, like I said, kind of with that voice kind of thing, it just sounds positive. You want to make sure that they can see that you're excited because that is how you get it across that it's worth going to. If you're not, then they won't be. They won't want to come out to it. They'll just won't come out to it in general. Next is icebreakers. So I know that Toledo does icebreakers specifically. So this is a perfect opportunity for team building activities that strengthen bonds and also, again, energizes your members, make them excited. You could do, depending on like how large your chapters are, you could do maybe 5 each week. So like only having like 5 members do it each week, or you can have those who want to share, so you can leave it open to anybody. But if you have time, maybe depending on how large your chapter is, you could do everyone. I know our chapter is not too big, so we'll do like small ones where everyone will say it. Typically the president will do the icebreakers, I will say, because bringing us all together within one would make sense. Just some examples on the side. It could be like a fun fact. I know a big question that's always a dilemma that gets people talking and interacting is a hot dog a sandwich? Apparently, my friend Megan here told me today that what is it? Salad is a soup, according to Google. So that's also another controversy one that gets people talking and also kind of like generates kind of like a talk, not even that, but also kind of seeing how they lead. So like they'll bring, like you can tell like the people who want to talk about it, you can tell it, like see the people who kind of are like, I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to back away from it now. A hot dog is a taco and a corn dog is a sushi. I actually agree with that. A hot dog is a taco in my eyes. No one else agrees with me. Would you rather time, like you could do would you rather? So would you rather time travel to the past or the future? Just like small little snippets like that. It makes the environment fun within itself and also breaks the ice, as it says, like with icebreakers, to get to know your members. If your members know one another and they maybe like hear about something that they do within an icebreaker, or they agree with something, or they hear something, they can talk about it at like a future event and that they'll remember that. I know that I remember certain things that some of the members say during their icebreakers, and I'll bring it up later at like an event, and it's just great. Theme meetings, same thing going back to this. You want to make sure like it's a great environment. So generating a sense of brotherhood, making the meetings fun. We've done theme meetings in the past, and I think this is really neat, especially doing it virtually, because virtually you can do it a lot easier. You don't have to dress up. I mean, you can, but you can just easily just do something like simple, like change your background on your virtual videoing platform, or you can even dress up. I know that in the fall last semester, we actually had a Halloween costume theme. So some people dressed up. Some people changed their background, and our entire exec did a Skittle color theme. So all of us wore like a different color like t-shirt, and then we put like an S on it. Kind of made the like environment fun. Just seeing everybody like what they were doing. Again, creating a sense of brotherhood and connection. Next up is increasing member excitement. So we're going to get into recognition, chapter achievement that you can give to them on through AP Online, as well as just thanking them. So recognition. So recognize each member on their hard work, participation in leadership, and achievements. Such a small little recognition can go such a long way because it makes them feel as if like they're doing something and helping and be a part of the chapter. I know that you could do this in such simple ways that I'm going to get to in a little bit with the achievements, but it basically goes off of just small little thank yous or recognition. It really does help. I know that when I get recognized for just small little things, it just feels nice to be appreciated and to see what work you've been doing and like seeing that other people recognize that. So within recognition, there's a few different options that you could honestly do. Starting off, you could do on your slides for your weekly meetings, you could do your top 3 for leadership, friendship, and service. So depending on like, I don't know if everybody here has AP Online, but you're going to be tracking their leadership, I would hope, and their fellowships and their service. But you could do the top 3 for leadership. So who has the most leadership hour, like points or hours? Same thing with fellowship, same thing with service, and not even just stopping there. Put those top 3, and also you can include: are they ranking in the section? Are they ranking in the region? Are they ranking in the nation? That recognition, being a part of those. If you're in the nation right now, great for you. I know that within our chapter, like right now, we have someone that's ranked in the nation, and we have been throwing it out in the group chat, and it's just everyone's congratulating him, like keep it up, like things like that, creating that sense of brotherhood, accomplishment, and being recognized. If someone I put completes twice. If someone completes a requirement, throw their name out, congratulate them, put them on the meeting, put them in like maybe your group chats. I know that we have a group me here at Zeta Lambda, so if somebody completes one of their service requirements or goes well over beyond, we'll throw it in the group chat just for recognition. Not even just for recognition, because it's a great accomplishment to complete your requirement. And even if you do it like especially in the beginning of the semester, like if you do that within like a month, that's great. Like recognize them. So there's a thing called chapter achievements, and you can actually do this through AP Online. Um, it's a great resource. Is there, okay, so I don't know if you guys know this. Has anybody here done Relay for Life? All right, so I see that, I think this is Marissa. So, oh, Madison. So Madison, do you remember how on Relay for Life, you basically fundraise and you can get like little badges for completing, like let's say like you get like a $50 donation, or you hit like $100 donation, things like that. Those are like little badges. That's kind of how AP Online also works. You can generate these and create like chapter achievements. And so for example, you could do like recognizing members on their halfway points. So for example, like for Zeta Lambda, we require 15 hours of service for the semester. So you could do like a service junior award for their halfway point and do like maybe like 8. So it's kind of like an award, like, hey, you're halfway there, you're almost there, like congratulations. As well as doing maybe when they meet the requirements, give them like a leadership bronze for completing their leadership requirements, or service bronze. You could create like as the title. And so like right down here, since I'm not on AP Online, I can kind of show you, but a member reaches blank units of internal service hours, and then you could put a single term, or you can do lifetime too. So if somebody makes like a lifetime of like 200, you could do like create like a little nice little title for that. So anybody who reaches that 200 in a lifetime, they get like this like achievement slash like badge. Some examples that you could do specifically for service. So you could start off with that initial, like your minimum requirement for service, and do that as like a bronze. And then let's say I'm going off of Toledo's just because I know everyone's chapters are different for service, but 30 could be like a service gold, 50 could be a service, or yeah, 30 could be a service silver, 50 could be a service gold, 75 could be like a service soldier, 100 could be like a service hero, 150 could be the service legend, and then if you hit 200 within a single term, you're a service immortal. Things like that, just nice little things. Again, and you can put that within the meetings as well, throw that out. You can take a little picture of like what their award looks like, because APO Online generates kind of like a certificate. So like not necessarily a badge, but same kind of deal with Relay for Life. Oh, and you can also do ones for members who lead their own projects. So if you wanted to create like little achievements, or even like if you have traditions within your chapter, you could create awards or achievements slash badges for them. So thank you. Thanking them is a huge step within making sure they feel welcome and having them come out to events. So if you see that you've had a maybe you had like a larger event than normal, take your time for that next meeting to thank them for coming out. I feel like that's a big thing. It shows appreciation. Again, shows recognition again. It creates excitement. Maybe seeing who attended, like you could say individually, like who came out to it specifically. I feel like that's a huge thing, being thanked for coming out to these. I know it's one of those things that like they should be coming out, but at the same time, it feels great to be thanked. So, what do your members want and need? So, events accessibility, feedback, choices. Um, we're going to get into this today. So event accessibility. So right now with COVID, it's a little bit weird, just because you may have the option to do in-person events, just depending on what your school allows, and also like your chapter kind of exec has approved and doing at the moment. But if you're doing virtual and you're allowed to do in person, do some small in-person events, even if they're just small, like maybe like the minimum of like 3 to 5 people. Make sure that you still do have those if you're allowed to. In person, definitely, I will say, hits a little bit harder than virtual. That's like the easiest way to say it. You see these people on the screen and you kind of forget about them. I literally walked into the Zeta Lambda office yesterday and I saw somebody I haven't seen for over a year, and I literally could have cried. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. Like it felt great to actually see my brother. I always just see this individual over the screen. So it's just nice. If you can do both, try to. I know that, like I said, COVID, it's not the most accessible thing. So if it's possible, try it, even just doing small things, whether that be going out to eat at like a restaurant, grabbing something to eat at lunch or something like that. Uh, just don't stop when things get normal, I feel like is a big thing. So taking this that we have learned through COVID, whether that be through your membership, through your programs, especially this virtual and in-person opportunities. I feel like this is a big learning thing that people I hope do not forget about, because yes, things may get a little bit more normal, but at the same time, going to those in-person events, they do help. But also having those virtual like events will help in the future, because not everyone can go to like in-person events sometimes, or maybe it's easier for them because they don't have to drive, maybe they live far away, maybe you're a commuter school, things like that. So making sure you still have those virtual events when things get in quotes normal, uh the new norm, but making sure you still have a few of those within your schedule like monthly, so that it's just not completely taken out of the whole schedule. Feedback is such a huge factor within motivating your event attendance, because if they do not like the events that are being put forth, they're not going to want to go. If you're doing the same thing and it's repetitive, they're not going to want to continue to go, because oh, I did this last week, I kind of don't want to do it. I've already done this like 3 times within this past month. Like it kind of gets kind of repetitive sometimes. So making sure that you receive their feedback. You can receive their feedback in multiple ways. I will say, like, people do like CAPS, the chapter assessment planning, at the end of the semester, or I don't know how you guys do it. I know we do it at the end, but also getting feedback not only from caps. I know at the beginning of the semester, we typically throw out in our group meetings and in our meetings, we'll ask them what is their time availability, because that's a big, huge factor within creating like events, is making sure, are these times even hitting their times? I know not everyone is going to be available at the same time. Like that is that is very hard. The only time that they can really do that is for meetings. But at the same time, like if you can see that a majority of people are available at this certain time, but also that other people are available, let's say a majority of people are available at 7 p.m., but you see a small group is available at 12, making sure you still have those two opportunities available, maybe switch them out every single week, making sure that they can come out, because I feel like that's a huge factor, is just sometimes time just does not work out for everybody. So making sure that you see that what their time availability is and basing it off of that, as well as the type. So I know that our fellowship threw out a nice little quick survey on our time availability, as well as what type of events would we like to see this semester. I feel like that's a huge aspect within this, because if you're able to provide your feedback and what you want to do, they're going to run with it. At least I hope that most would run with it, because like I said, they're not going to want to come out if it's not something that they really do or they really enjoy. But at the same time, how can you make those events that they may not really enjoy something that they will enjoy in the future? So yeah, making sure that they have the opportunity to provide you with feedback is a huge aspect within it. Establishing open and honest communication. So if you're working on an event and you want members to get excited, be honest with them with where you're at. Say, hey, I'm currently just talked to this organization, or hey, I just talked to this department here at UT, or whatever university you're at, so that members have the opportunity to participate in the future and kind of reiterate that in their mind. That kind of gets back in their mind that, okay, this event's going to be going on here soon. Now I know this. I'll keep an eye out for when it actually is presented to the chapter and they have it finalized. Let them know that you value their opinions and thoughts. Be aware of nonverbal communication though, and body language. That's going back to enthusiasm. Your body language is a huge aspect within that, as well as your actions, your voice. It all, again, reiterating, it affects on how you present it. As well as survey past events. So there's actually something on AP Online that you could do this for. I believe it's going to be under the More tab on AP Online, and then forums. Basically, if you do an event on AP Online, which I hope that all your events would be if you do have AP Online, then you can create like a forum, and it's kind of like a survey where you could give your feedback on the event. So maybe they didn't like the time. They wish it could have been a little bit later, a little bit earlier. Maybe something happened within the event that they didn't really like, or maybe there's something that they have as a suggestion that could benefit in the future. Taking those feedback and opinions in the future into consideration when you're doing things. Choices. So again, running into repetitive cycles. I know it's very hard with COVID because there's only so much that you can do, but at the same time, there's so many opportunities that you can do that you would have never thought of. I know that a lot of people, they like to do free rice, but at the same time, do you really want to have a free rice event twice a week or once a week continuously for the entire semester? Kind of gets a little bit repetitive. I know it's a nice option, but at the same time, they want to see something new on the calendar. If you're going to see that same thing on the calendar multiple times, you're just going to start to overlook it. It's kind of like when you're looking at, maybe you're studying and you see the same thing over and over and over. You kind of get over it, and you kind of like, you already know it's there, but at the same time, you just kind of forget about it because you've looked at it so many times. So that's kind of playing into the aspect of how that could affect your event attendance. Making sure there's an array of choices, changing it up a little bit. I feel like that's a huge aspect. So if let's say you plan on doing like one big event a semester, or maybe once a month. It doesn't have to be big. Big could be a different. It could, depending on how you look at it, big can be considered a variety of aspects. Big could be semi big as in like half your chapter, big could be as in like 75% of your chapter, big could just be let's get 10 people. It all just depends. So making sure there's an array of choices, taking that feedback that you learned from before, doing things that are different out of like the norm. I know that something that our members, we just did, we had like a 24-hour service marathon, and one of the events that we haven't done at all was doing origami crane making, because origamis create like a sense of like um strength. And so like these could be provided to like a, like it could be like a suicide awareness. I know that that's what the original thinking was behind it, because our counseling center wanted to do 1,000 paper cranes to represent like strength. It could be a nursing home creating like strength as well. And that was, I know that our members were super excited just trying to figure out how to create these cranes, and it was so different. I know that one of our members made like 23 of them and just like laid them all out. He was super excited because he had never like actually made like cranes like this. So he was excited about the array of like, not the array of choices, but like the difference in like the non-repetitive cycle, basically. Tips to increase event attendance. Starting off, open events. I feel like this is a huge thing that could impact your attendance. If you're letting them know that, hey, maybe somebody from another chapter that we're coordinating with, their members are going to come out, you should meet them, get to know them a little bit, see maybe like what they do for their service or leadership or fellowship or just meetings in general, talking to them, inviting the section, inviting the region. This creates kind of like a, oh, like we haven't had anybody from another, like we haven't had like a chapter hangout with another chapter. Maybe like if we were going to do something with BG, oh, we're doing something with BG, okay, like we haven't done that this semester, I want to go out to it, I want to see these people, it'd be nice to see new people other than just the people in the chapter. You can also reach out to the region, maybe have the region put it on their calendar to come out. I feel like that's a big thing. If you have other people that are coming out that aren't the typical normal faces, your members could be really excited about seeing these people, encouraging and motivating that event attendance. You could even have your presidents from your chapters put it in their section group me or their region group me, so that it's still, again, communicating that you want to be open with other chapters, have them come out to events, and again, going back to reiterating, seeing new people. Members lead. So this one's a little fun one. I feel like sometimes you may get stuck in like how you do leadership programs. So having your members maybe lead a workshop is just a different it's just a different type of environment. Seeing your own members, someone that you may be close with, maybe just a brother that you don't know too much and you want to kind of see what they can lead on, and what they can provide. I feel like it's just a face kind of difference. It's a new environment. So having that member who maybe be someone that wants to do a workshop or something like that, uh, present, because it is different rather than having maybe like your leadership team do it or your exec team. Or I know for Toledo, there's a ton of like leadership opportunities that already that um, our counseling center puts on or departments put on, like time management and stuff like that, versus like seeing your members actually present that. It's a different environment. They're excited, they know this person, they have a connection with this person, they're more willing to go out to it, they're more willing to learn from it. I know that I just did this recently. So how I went about this is I talked to my VP of service first, and I let them know, hey, I want to lead like a workshop. I don't really know what I want to do yet. I have a few options. And she was just like, throw it out in a pool and like the group me. And I was like, all right, sounds good. So I threw out a pool in the group me, and I gave them a few options. Just again, because like I'm business, it was more kind of like business related. So it was like resume how to's, as well as like a Canva workshop, how to use what is it? Not involvement network. It's LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn. And I had a ton of people that actually came out to the Canva one. I think I maybe had like 10 members come out, and that's pretty good for our leadership workshops. So I was really excited. That's a good amount. But I've also done like a resume critique. You could even do like a workshop. Like if there's a member that's passionate about something and they can tell that you're passionate about it, the members will be passionate about coming out to it. I know my members, like specifically at UT, I was really excited about the Canva. They know I'm excited about marketing. So like they were excited when they came in to learn all of it. If you have a member that's maybe like environmental science or just very passionate in being green, they could do like a recycling like leadership event where you explain like the importance of recycling, how it can impact you, the do's and don'ts. I know that there's a ton of do's and don'ts for recycling. Like you can't recycle coffee cups. I don't know if anybody knows that, but you cannot recycle coffee cups because the liner inside of it. So I feel like things like that you learn from it. It's still considered a leadership event, and also the person that's leading it just makes the environment so much better. Seeing people who are passionate about what they're talking about, it helps gain that event attendance. That is a good point. Recycle the sleeves. And keeping the loop open. Just make sure, like I said, reiterate to your members that you are always willing to learn from them, see what they want to do specifically, keeping that loop of communication open through you and your exec, and also just through the exec itself, so that they understand that you're willing to learn and take into consideration what they would like to see and need or want. So how you can do this is making sure AP Online is updated. Make sure those events are put in that Sunday, not even that Sunday if you can. Make sure they're put in earlier if possible, but making sure they're at least set for that week so that they know what is going on. Um, I feel like that's a big thing because if you can see what is there for the week at the beginning of the week versus, oh, like I haven't really put in anything on AP Online, I'll wait until Wednesday to update it. It's going to be a late notice. How is your members going to be excited to come out to these events or know what events are coming on if, let's say, there's an event on Wednesday, but that event isn't put in until Wednesday morning? Um, and going along with this, with keeping AP Online updated, reminders, you could do reminders the day before and the day of. Hey, this event's going to be on. Here's the link maybe the day before. This event's going on tomorrow. Here's what we'll be talking about. A great thing also is sending a calendar. So you could do like a weekly calendar. You could just take, if you wanted, like a little screenshot of like the AP Online week and then just like cut it down and like crop it. You can also do send it out that exact same like weekly calendar in the group me, the emails if you want. I don't know if anybody uses like the mass messaging system on AP Online, but you could do that, or if you already have like an email listing too. I know for Toledo at least, we actually have for our historian, he takes the slides and we'll put everything on the slides into a thing that we call the Zeta. And I know that in the past we've had like a weekly calendar at the bottom of the Zeta, and you can just see all the events placed out. It's just nice because some people, it's just so much easier to see a visual of, or just to keep the visual. So just screenshotting that weekly thing so you have it on your phone and you'd be like, okay, like I want to go to this event. Okay, I want to go to this event. Informed on progress. Again, just making sure if you're working on certain events that's coming up in the future, just let them know what you're working on. Be like, hey, like I'm in the works of this. Keep an eye out for it coming up here soon. Check-ins being caring and accountability. So doing check-ins could honestly vary just on how you look at it. You could do check-ins for requirements. You could do it maybe twice a semester or once a semester midway through, like, hey, you're so far on this requirement, you've only got this much, you're doing great. Here's some opportunities that you could be coming up that are coming up within the next few weeks or in the next month if you have it that far on AP Online. Just to do some nice, making sure that you're basically holding them accountable, but at the same time you're being caring enough to reach out to them personally. I feel like that's a big thing, is being personal within the members so that they know that you can be personable, but at the same time coming out to those events as well. You could even do mental health check-ins. I feel like that's a huge aspect within motivating event attendance. Sometimes maybe they're having a rough week or they're having a rough few months. It all just depends. So being caring and reaching out to them to check in on them and see how can APO online, or not AP Online, how can APO help you and get back to like a good state, or maybe stepping back for a hot second or things like that. I feel like that's a huge aspect within it. And then now I'll just like leave it open to you guys. I would love to hear, I'll actually stop sharing my screen and I'll create like a document, but I would love to hear what your chapters do to motivate your attendance. Let me just pull up a little doc. Does anybody here with their chapter use awards and like the AP Online achievement certificates?
Apparently ours does. I got like a notification that I like hit 25 hours and got something. So I guess ours does. It was a nice surprise and I didn't know about it.
Yeah, I feel like the first time it happens, like I feel like it would be kind of like, wow, like it would be like a nice little recognition, like, okay, like that's nice. It makes you feel kind of good. I see Sarah says we do it for service medicines. No, I've never heard of it until now. Yeah, so that's something that maybe your chapter could implement. I feel like that's great. Kind of like how I said with Relay for Life, getting like little badges. Instead, it's just a certificate on AP Online, but still, it's nice because you kind of have like the stepping stones and you could go over and beyond for like the members who go over and beyond their requirements that are needed.
So I recently reactivated. I'm currently a grad student at BGSU, but an undergrad, I was at the other side of the state with a different chapter, and we did service discs. I don't know if anybody else does this, but we made it fun. It was kind of like what you were going over with like service hero, service legend, like depending on your lifetime hours. But we put your name on a frisbee, and the color of the frisbee like was how many hours you got. So like if you were at blue level, it was like 50 service hours lifetime, or gold was 100. And then we would like toss you the frisbee at caps with your name on it.
Oh my
So,
gosh, I love that. Like,
yeah.
okay, we need to do this.
Honestly, like with my home chapter in undergrad, like caps went on for 8+ hours. So we needed something to break the monotony. So we in the middle of it would always toss service discs and you would get your frisbee. So fun idea to break up caps, but it was always fun to like catch the frisbees. It was a good time.
Yeah. Did you do caps at the end of the semester then?
Yeah, we did. And I think Zeta Kappa at BG does it like that as well.
I don't know why you would really do it in the beginning, but I don't know if people actually do. It would make sense. I mean, you kind of want to do both at the same time, something that's smaller at the beginning so you can still provide that with throughout the semester. I feel like that's a big aspect within it. So that, because if you're, like I said, like if your members don't want to go to these events or they don't like what's being put on, they're not going to want to come out. So how can you motivate them to come out? You can motivate them to come out with being excited about it, creating that environment in which they want to come out, they want to see their brothers, things like that. So like that's a way that could help, but also at the same time creating events that they would like. What does anybody else do for motivating your events or just creating a great environment for your chapter? Does anybody do anything during meetings specifically that's a little bit different?
I know for me, I just kind of add a icebreaker in the beginning. Like I just kind of go through like week or what's new with everyone or something like that. Last chapter meeting we did was one unique thing people do for Easter. So it's one of those current event type structures. Try and just break the ice and keep everything moving along.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like icebreakers go such a long way because it doesn't just end with a meeting like how I talked about. You literally will find out things new about people that you would have never known before. So like when you go see them at like a virtual event or an in-person event, you can talk on it, be like, oh, like I remember you saying this at your little icebreaker. Or it's something that may be like a little running joke when in like the future. I know like not even during my icebreaker. Oh, I think it was my icebreaker. No, I remember at like an event, I found out that you're not supposed to use soap on your face, bar soap. And both of the guys thought it was so funny that I didn't know this. And so like now it's like a running joke between us. And like I have a meme of it. So like even after the events, it's still like something that you can talk about.
One thing that our chapter does is like after we go through everything at meeting, we'll have this like little time that we could talk about little victories for that like everybody has accomplished over the course of the week to just kind of decompress and congratulate people even on the smallest little things that they happen to do. And everybody seems to really like those so far.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah. I know that like we also do something kind of similar to that. So we do like brother of the week, and so we'll send out like a form and you can nominate somebody, and then once they get nominated, like whoever is nominated, the VP of membership actually sends out a little form and they put like a ton of like things on it where they could put like positive things, what they've done this week, how they're doing within the chapter, what they do outside of the chapter. And it's just nice kind of encouragement to kind of be recognized again. I know that we've been doing that this semester, and it's nice because like they're kind of like you when you're that person, you're like, oh wow, wait, what? I didn't know that. Like I wasn't expecting to be member of the week. So it's like a great feeling and to be like appreciative of your actions. What kind of like little victories like do people like say their victories? Do people say other people's victories, Christina?
They usually talk about things that like they've accomplished that week or just things that they have like going on in the future that they're excited about or just anything that like generally interested them over the course of their week. So like it could also be anywhere from, oh, I scheduled my classes for next semester, or I got 100 on this exam, or I walked my dog today. It could be anything that people are like proud of or happy to share with others.
Yeah, I've also seen other orgs as well. They do something like that too, but they'll also not only for like their accomplishments. I know for some people they don't like basically talking about themselves or saying how they're doing great. Basically, they take their accomplishments very like personally, so they won't say it. But having people, they'll be like, "Hey, like I have like a little snippet about this person. Maybe they got like a job, maybe they got like an position in another org, maybe they just got like an A in like a class, um, things like that. So also like kind of like seeing what other brothers are accomplishing if they won't kind of like say it themselves. Nice little thing to go along with yours. Ooh, what's your pet of the week?
So, like the brother of the week, we have a form that you can submit like nominations for pet of the week, and that's just either anybody's pet that's in the chapter, or it could be like friends or family of the people in the chapter. One time, there's a person whose neighbor's dog won pet of the week because they were really cute, but
I love that. I love how it's like not even like their own dog, it's their neighbor's dog. That's so cute. I feel like that'd be fun because you want to get your dog nominated or your cat or your fish or anything.
yeah, I will say having my dog win was like the highlight of that day.
I'm definitely going to send this to the VP of membership. I'm going to be like, what I just learned today is that they don't only just do brother of the week, they do pet of the week. We'd have so many submissions. So how has everybody's event attendance gone so far with this semester versus the during COVID? I mean, it's still COVID, but at the same time, we're out of the big chunk of it with the vaccines. So how's that been going for you guys? Is it kind of like normal? Is it kind of a little bit below than your usual?
We kind of have to like beg people to go to events at this point. um so I'm the VP of leadership, and I feel like I offer like 3 or 4 leaderships each week, and I give leadership credits for like leading events, and still I'm like, oh my god, get your leaderships in. Like, come on, we're so close. So I think honestly it's like Zoom fatigue is real bad right now. And like nobody wants to go to anything because none of us have motivation. So
Yeah.
yeah, right now it's been like super low.
What type of events do you put on then through for your leadership?
So we do kind of like the professional development type stuff. So resume workshops, LinkedIn, we do that. We have access to Canopy. I don't know if any of you have that, but it's like a documentary, like Netflix kind of thing. So if I have folks watch like a documentary on like a social justice issue or something that they're passionate about, and they write me a paragraph about the documentary. Like I do a lot of hybrid stuff to accommodate for everybody. Um, and then I also like, if you go to on-campus leadership or professional developments, they give you a leadership. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of a choose your own adventure out here.
Yeah, I remember going to the Indianapolis conference and I remember hearing somebody say, like, we have our members present like leadership things. Like, it could be literally so small, like with what you may be kind of like going off of like the recycling one. Like, if you're passionate about something, go ahead and present it. Like, it is such a great leadership opportunity. If you're passionate about something, that excels off of you. Like I said, enthusiasm is courageous, just like COVID. You feel them, like you feel happy, you can tell that they're happy, you want to do that, you want to go out to it. Do you have a lot of members that put on their own?
Yeah, I do. I have this like leadership interest form, and I have people just like fill it out.
Mhm.
So if they have a topic that I think like fits, I guess.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are like, I want to talk about my dog, I guess. And I'm like, not quite a leadership. But I'm like, if you want to host, I think I just had a leadership on like pet care. Like, so I don't know, like at home pet care and stuff. I was like, you can do that. So yeah, we have a lot of like member hosted events, and like I'll still give a leadership credit like if you host a leadership event, because I mean you're leading.
Mhm.
So yeah, we do have some like brother led leaderships, but some it's like hard getting people motivated to even do that. And I think it's just because we're in April, to be honest.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this semester's been a little tough, but fall was a bit better.
Nice. How's everybody else event attendance, and kind of like how have they worked to maybe help motivate their members?
So I'm only a nib, so I've only been in APO during COVID, so I don't really know what membership and like attendance really looks like outside of that. But I definitely think in-person events are a huge draw just because we're all kind of like missing seeing people. So those events tend to fill up really quickly. But we do have like a limit at our school. We can only have up to 10 people. So I think our exec board is really trying to get a whole bunch of different events and a whole bunch of opportunities so that if an event you wanted to go to fills up, you can still go to something else that's in person and see your brothers.
Yeah. I feel like that's the great thing also with like AP online too. You can always do like I know that like for us, like I think the end of the semester, I think we want to do kind of like not like a picnic, but like hang out, and like we want to do tie dye because we bought like we had like merch this semester, and so like some of us got white so that we could tie dye together. So like we split it up so that if you can go for like this hour, that's great, but also there's another time frame so that if you can't go or if it fills up, then you still have the opportunity to go at this time. So that's great to hear. Yep, in person definitely I feel like has been like packing up. I feel like it's a little bit, I feel like more people are more prone to kind of like, not prone, but more people are likely to attend in person versus like virtual, just because of the whole, I think people are overdoing virtual, so it's nice to just switch it up every once in a while and see new people or the same people. Does anybody have anything else, like any suggestions or suggestions with maybe how, what could be beneficial for motivating members, or same thing going for your chapter specifically that you may do that other chapters may not know about? Like, I would have never thought of pet of the week. Or the frisbees. All right, with that being said, thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate it. I hope you guys got some ideas generating. Oh, sorry about my cat in the back. But I hope you have some new ideas on how to motivate your members. Again, starting off with your exec, being excited about it, I feel like is a big aspect, and also just like feedback. Feedback is a huge aspect within it. So not only just doing it at the end of the semester, getting a little bit in the beginning of the semester, whether that's, you know, putting together a little small survey with what's your time, what would you see with, what would you like to see for service, what would you like to see for fellowship, what would you like to see for leadership, what would you like to see during meeting, maybe also would be a great one too. Just a small little quick survey, nothing too long, because some surveys, they just, if you see it's really long, then you're not going to fill it out. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming out. Hope you have some new ideas. This is a recording, so I know this is going to be added to the region website. I'll also give Brittany my, what is it? My presentation as well. And I'll update my presentation to add some things that I added throughout. So if you ever need any of the information, it'll be out there for you. Everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thank
Enjoy
you so
conference.
much. You too.
Thank you.